Do a little walkthrough from the front. There's not a whole lot going on there. As you can see, I've used a cutting board and put some bolts in upside down with the washers so that they will slide into the slide lock. Got my Garmin CV, it's the Echo Map Chirp 43 CV, works pretty good. It's got the down view, and what I power that off of here is got a little 12-volt game feeder battery, about 7 amp hour, works all day on into the next day, so it works pretty good for this. And as you can see, I have here one of these little collapsible paddles. It actually works pretty good in case I get in a up in the shallows or something and can't use the pedal drive. Like it pretty much, because the bigger paddle just tends to get in the way, and as you can see, you can bungee that right there on the side, real easy to get to. And of course, got the old life jacket there, a must-have. Got some tackle boxes here on the side, and I put these D-rings here so that I can, as you can see, these are attached with a cord, so if I have any kind of a rollover, those won't go very far. Right here, I keep my hog trowel for measuring my fish. A little bit dirty right now, need to clean that up. Back here, I don't know if you folks can see this, but there was a problem with the rod holders being too short. So what I did was got a piece of PVC pipe and put that in there, and I notched it out up here so the rods will sit in it and they won't pivot around. And then I put a little weather stripping in there to hold that tube snug so it doesn't rattle back and forth. I've got a strip down at the bottom and a strip right here at the edge. It's kind of pulled up a little bit, and they push that back down in there. I had it nice and flush mount. But what I got here is one of the Scotty mount rod holders with a piece of PVC in it, and I'll show you on the other side what I use for that. And back here I've got a soft tackle bag, and I'll show you just a little bit what's in that. Real easy and convenient to get to out on the water. It is full of plastics. Then back here a little further, got the old milk crate with the tackle trays, and basically I got enough room that when I pull the ones up out front, I can bring them back here and put this in the milk crate. Makes it real easy to take out and bring it in. Now here I actually have a full set of paddles just in case out there on the water something goes wrong with the pedal drive. You can have something to get you back to the boat launch. And of course, I did a little modification. A buddy of mine hooked me up with a little bit wider rudder here, because the one that comes with it is about like this, and it really makes the turning a lot harder. So this is made out of cutting board. Need to touch it up with some paint again here. It looks like got a lot of use on it. And of course, when traveling, got my trusty little flag that dangles back behind there. And of course, these are my tie-down straps on the trailer here. And I have mounted these pieces of PVC here for some additional rod holders. Haven't decided if I like that or not. I'll probably figure out something else for it. And here we got another Scotty mount with the PVC for this coming out with this arm here. And as you can see, I got my camera mounted on it. And some of you may be wondering what this is here on the top, this little fuzz. What I did is I took a piece of double stick tape and stuck it to the top of the camera. Then I cut out a little section in there so that the mic ports that are in there are exposed. And then I got this, which is actually it was like a little troll doll teddy bear with a little fuzz on top of it. And I stuck that on the top of the double stick tape, and it actually keeps the wind from making that blowing noise in your videos, and it works really well. Y'all might be seeing some of my later videos where show some of the, you know, out on the water with it, and this camera is so good that you can actually cast out as far as you can and you'll hear the lure hit the water instead of hearing wind. So it works really good. And if you're interested in one of these cameras, it's a Yi camera, and if you go down in my comments there and look at I've got a link for kit.com/Herbert T Outdoors, and you'll find a link in there for this very camera where you can get one. Very reasonably priced, a lot better than the GoPros, and you know, we're talking a quarter to maybe a fifth of the price of a GoPro, and it works really well. And of course I got some of the cheap GoPro mounts. You'll see a kit in the storefront there that you can actually order those. That'll give you a bunch of variety for being able to mount these things. And if you want a more detailed explanation of how I made this mount for the camera, maybe comment below and maybe we'll do a separate video on just that alone. But I think it's fairly self-explanatory. You know, basically got the tube here. This is a 45-degree angle tube, and then this is a 90, and then just a flat cap that I drilled a hole and put a quarter 20 thread screw up through the bottom so that I can actually mount that on there. Another option would be, which I thought of it after the fact, that I might actually do one of the little slide clips that you can slide and lock it in, and that way it's just easy to quick remove. But it's not too hard to unscrew this and move it. But the reason, you know, over on the other side you saw that one, is I can actually take it off right here at this joint and put it over on that side, so that when I'm fishing back this direction I've got nice view there. And just to give you an idea of what kind of view I get with the camera and the way it sits coming out at this angle like this, I'm gonna put the camera pretty much right there where it is now. I'm filming this from my phone, which it doesn't exactly give the wide angle like the other one, or you know, like this camera actually does. So it will actually probably cover out to about here. So it really has that much of a view. Oh yeah, there we go. Got me a nice bass there. Looky there. How about that? Thank you, Jesus. Good Lord provided us with fish today. Wow. What do you think of that? Nice one. A little bit bug-eyed on one side there. Looky there. Yeah, what do you think of that, folks? The old Herbert T wishing he was here with me. How about that? Alright, we'll let you go. Get you down there in the water, get you another drink. Go on there, little guy. Tell your friends, I'm here. Just come to see you guys. See what's going on. See if we can't catch some more on this bank here. Oh, in case y'all are wondering what I'm using here. This is a Zoom Blue Sapphire Z-Craw. Got a little 1/4 ounce weight, got it pegged, and just kind of jigging it along. Seem to like it. See if we can't get another one. The nice thing about it is, you know, with me sitting here, I can hold up my fish, you know, right here for y'all to see, and this camera is not in my way. It's not back up over my head, you know, where I have to turn, you know, 190 degrees for you guys to hear me commenting about this stuff. And okay, so over here we got some more of the tackle boxes, and of course they're tied in with the cord. Got my fish grippers, got a bag of some tools here. As you can see, I got the stoppers in there. I only have those in the, you know, the scupper hole plugs in just this area right here. I don't have them up in behind the seat because it never gets deep enough for that. Back here in the back, I actually have, and it's probably going to be a little hard to see. Let's see if we can't lift this bag out of here. And back here, I actually have, these are like Nerf golf balls. You can get those at like Dick's Sporting Goods or Walmart, I think, has them, and they're 6 in a bag for a really cheap price. So that actually works pretty good. Now also back here, I have my bag of my frog togs. Gotta have those just in case it rains. Got a little Gatorade bottle there. And over here, got the rod mount. And if you look at this, you'll see this kind of rod mount that I did. I turned the bolt upside down so it slides in there to the channels. And these rod holders right here are somewhere around 15 to 17 bucks, as opposed to the higher end Scotty mounts here, which I think those run about 28 to 30. I've got a link for them in my storefront, so if you guys want to check that out in my merchandise, you can. And that brings us up to the other compartment on the front here, which in there I just keep some miscellaneous tools, lights, and again the Nerf golf balls use, and the scupper plugs, those actually wedge down in there really nice. And just so happens that on the Pescador Pilot, they actually have a hole, or a scupper hole there, and it worked out real nicely because the cable for the transducer goes down in there, and then there's actually a mount underneath there that keeps it up underneath here, so it's under the bottom there. Got strapped to the trailer, or I'd show you that, but works out pretty good. It does not drag on anything. When I bring it in and slide it up on the trailer, I don't worry about it snagging and ripping off. It works really good. Now, again, some of the modifications that I did for this, rod holders don't work too well. So again, as you can see, the tube and then the notches in there, I'm actually gonna heat those up, and if you stick a glass bottle in the tip of it there, it'll actually cause it to curl out and make it a little easier to get your rods in there. Again, I did the rudder upgrade. I did change out the pins here because the ones that come with it, I actually had one somehow worked itself off in route coming home from fishing, so I did go to the hardware store and get these that are a little bit better. I also replaced the kind of a cord that they had in here for controlling the rudders. This is actually 16th inch stainless cable. I did find out after I got these that they actually have a plastic coated one that's about the same size, and of course it runs through these holes, and you want to get you probably about a 12-foot piece of that, so you got a little bit extra coming out here to work with when you get it, because it's all in one piece. It goes all the way up here to the handle right here, and it loops around like a wheel, like a pulley, but it's got a set screw that holds it in place. So to take that apart, you'll take this screw out, then you'll take these out, and you'll be able to pull that out and replace that cable that runs through there. Some of you probably had the problem with the pedal drive where the pedals come off. If you look out on the Facebook has a Pescador Pilot group, you'll probably see all the comments about that. And I got one of the older drives when I got this, and it had a problem with the prop coming off, and so I contacted Confluence, and they were very easy to work with. They got me a new drive with a it's actually, instead of a double nut system, they actually have a pin that goes through the prop down here that kept the prop from coming loose and falling off. I actually had that fall off in a tournament one time, and yeah, it was very detrimental to my tournament. I was actually sitting in first place for about the first 4 hours, and then the prop fell off, and I was a long ways away from the boat ramp, so I started paddling back, and all I could do was sit and watch the online scoreboard and watch everybody start passing me until I dropped all the way to 8th place. Now, some of them were probably sandbagging and registering their fish late, but yeah, I still would have had about an hour and a half of fishing that I know people were catching during that time period. So, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this little walkthrough on the Pilot. Excuse me for it being dirty. I have been out on the water this morning. And, oh well, let's just do a quick talk about the trailer here. Got that trailer over at Northern Tool, and it, you know, yeah, I had to order it and build it up myself, and it was cheap. It was like the Harbor Freight trailer. It actually folds up. as you can see, I got a split down the middle here. That's where it folds up. So it folds in half and stands upright on these coasters right here. And then if you look over here, there's actually a pin underneath for the tongue, and you just undo the wing nut, pull the pin, and that will swing down so it stands upright, and you can roll it through, you know, a regular doorway just fine. So like I said, hope you guys enjoyed that, and if you got any questions or comments about it, just let me know. Be sure to hit me up with a like and subscribe, and click on the little bell icon next to it. That way you'll get a notification of when I've got my next video coming out. I appreciate y'all. Love you very much. You're wonderful fans, and always remember, keep God with you at all times.